Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday, the 7th of August 2021. Today we are back. And it finished 1-1 at Loftus Road. Pretty fair result going on by what I've heard and what I've seen. So this is from skysports.com. It's the match report, their match report. Let's go through this. Jed Wallace, Rob Dickie score stunners in entertaining championship draw. Report and highlights from the Sky Bet Championship clash between QPR and Millwall, as Jed Wallace and Rob Dickie each scored stunning goals in an entertaining draw in West London. Both teams scored brilliant goals in a breathless first half as QPR and Millwall drew 1-1 in the Sky Bet Championship at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium. The visitors had the better of the first 45 minutes and Jed Wallace gave them a deserved lead before Rob Dickie's strike hauled Rangers level. Many Millwall fans booed the pre-match taking of the lead. What has that got to do with the fucking match report, mate? In only a second minute, the visitors almost went ahead when Scott Malone's left-wing cross caught our goalkeeper, Senny Dieng, and hit the bar. Dieng was given no chance by Wallace's 11th minute opener. However, as the Millwall talisman picked up a loose ball near the edge of the penalty area and rifled a shot into the top corner of the net. QPR struggled to settle, and Millwall continued to trouble them after going ahead, with Benicofobia and George Saville firing shots straight at Dieng. Then out of nothing and totally against the run and play, centre-back Dickie netted a spectacular equaliser after 31 minutes. Dickie beat Wallace to the ball near the halfway line and strode forward before sending a 30-yard thunderbolt to the corner of the net. More good work by Dickie before the interval again after being first to the ball near the halfway line. Saw him set up Charlie Hostin, who shot straight at Bartosz Białkowski. The goalkeeper was called into action again early in the second half, this time to tip away Chris Wilcox's shot. Michael Keftenbells fired narrowly over at the other end, but both teams struggled to create clear-cut chances despite plenty of endeavour. Millwall boss Gary Rowett changed tack for the final 15 minutes, sending target man Matt Smith on against the striker's former club, but Rangers stood firm against the aerial pressure. And they almost snatched an injury time winner when Jordy DeWish header was kept out by Białkowski. What the manager said, QPR's Mark Warburton: "We started slowly, they were the better team and deserved the lead. We knew what was coming, they get the ball forward quickly and are dangerous with their physicality. We didn't deal with it well in the first 15 minutes, but when we started to play towards the end of the first half, we hurt them. We have to recognise that that's the championship out there. We had great games against Man United and Leicester and they're lovely to have, but that's the championship today and you've got to deal with all aspects of it. I think both teams tired towards the end. It's the first game and a big occasion with an intense atmosphere. Both teams looked drained in the last 10 minutes. Millwall's Gary Rowett said there's no change to the situation with Jed Wallace. Any comment I make will be flipped into a number of stories. He's committed, as you saw with that celebration. It was nice for him to show that his situation at the moment certainly won't affect him. He wants to play well for the club and wants to play well for the fans. He will certainly relish those moments and is a big game player. It was a great goal and I thought he performed really well, particularly in the first half." So there you go, match report and manager reactions. 1-1, not a bad result apparently. So let's have a look at this now. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. 4 takeaways. So it seems this season they're doing this thing, 4 takeaways from the game, or they did it last week from the Ipswich game, I believe. So it seems this is a new thing they're trying to do this season. So let's see how this goes. 4 takeaways from Mill's 1-1 draw with QPR as Jed Wallace straight into the goals. Jed Wallace, such a key attacking threat for Millwall, helped turn a point on the opening day of the 21-22 championship season. The attacker produced a precision strike to put the Lions 1-0 up in a high-intensity derby, but centre-back Rob Dickie levelled in the 31st minute as he punished a lack of closing down from many Millwall players as he broke strongly into the opposition's half. Jed Wallace has scored double figures in his last 2 seasons and didn't take long to get off the mark in a new campaign. It was a lovely left-footed finish from the edge of the box and a 27-year-old run back down the other end of the pitch to celebrate with Mill's travelling support. It is the 3rd time in his career that he's scored on the opening day of the season. He did it for the Lions in a 1-0 win over Preston and for Portsmouth in a 1-1 draw at Exeter. Come feel the noise. It's stating the obvious, but having supporters back in stadiums is absolutely brilliant. Millwall had 2,500 fans in the away end, and they played their part in a red-hot atmosphere. There was a rousing rendition of No One Likes Us shortly before kick-off in West London. The Den is going to be back to a place that visiting teams don't relish, indeed. Ballard bow. Jake Cooper's absence due to a slight back injury meant that Murray Wallace played on the left of a back three. And there was also a debut for Daniel Ballard. The Arsenal only struggled in an early foot race with the rapid Chris Wilcock, but could be very content with his first outing with the South London club. Charlie Austin was only the most sporadic of threats for Rangers, with Lyndon Dykes also struggling for scoring opportunities. Okay. Fair result. The last time that Mill failed to take anything from their first away game of the season was August 2017, their first back in the Championship after promotion via the League One playoffs. The Lions made a really impressive start at QPR to deservedly go ahead, but then struggled to test Senny Dieng enough, with efforts by Benicofobia and George Saville both lacking in the cleanest of contextions. Biakowski turned efforts from Austin and Wilcock around the post, but was beaten from distance by rampaging centre-back Rob Dickie. The second half was disrupted by frequent stoppages, both sets of players feeling the effects of a high-tempo contest. And I'm probably going to agree with all of that. I didn't go to the game, I've just seen the highlights, and I followed the game as it was happening. I know a lot of Mill players got carded. So maybe that's an indication of how the game was going at the end of the game. We were trying to put in some bad tackles, and that could have cost us with free kicks and whatnot, but luckily it didn't. So let's move on to now. So we've got more. We've already heard from Mark Warburton and Gary Rowett in the Sky Sports match report, but we've got more words from Gary Rowett now. So this is from news@den.co.uk. It says Mill boss explains Jake Cooper absence, but defender could be back for Blackburn game. Gary Rowett said Jake Cooper missed the first game of the season at QPR with a back injury, but the defender could be fit to face Blackburn next Saturday. Jed Wallace gave the Lions an 11th minute lead before Rob Dickie levelled in the 31st minute. Murray Wallace replaced Cooper in Millwall's back three. Coops has had an issue with his back. It's been stiff and he felt it after games, Rowett said. It's impinged his movement a tiny bit. He got through a little bit of the Gillingham game, some of the Ipswich game, but he felt it afterwards. It was really stiff. So at this stage of the season, we made a decision that rather than keep playing on with it, to do something about it and getting injected. There is a very small possibility he could be fit for the Portsmouth game, but more than likely it will be the Blackburn game. It would have been a difficult decision anyway, because Murray Wallace has been fabulous pre-season, every bit as good as Coops. That would have been a really difficult decision to make. We just wanted to make sure that Coops was fine for the rest of the games rather than carrying something into the first international break. So, do they know what it is? It's just a stiff muscle in his back. What's that about? Has he bought a new bed? Has he bought a new car and a seat? The seat in the car is messing him up. Don't know. It's kind of weird, no? But just giving him some kind of cortisol injection, yeah, whatever they're giving him, that's just like a patch over it. Now that's not really going to fix it. So you don't know. Maybe it'll help him bring the inflammation down, then his body can sort it out itself, and then he'll be right as rain, but you don't know. So that was a little bit of a surprise when the team come out that Jake Cooper wasn't there, but it seems we did alright without him. Could we have won the game if he played? I don't know, but so there you go. Cooper was missing today, and it seems that he'll be missing for the Portsmouth game on Tuesday as well. So we're going to move on now to this. More words from Gary Rowett, and it didn't help us. This is from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Millwall boss Gary Rowett on goal celebration at QPR. Gary Rowett felt Millwall's goal celebration didn't help their cause in today's 1-1 draw with QPR. Okay, really? interesting. Let's have a read of this and what's going on here. Jed Wallace fired the lines ahead and then ran the length of the pitch to celebrate in front of the 2,500 travelling Millwall supporters. I don't necessarily think that helped us, said Rowett. All of the players sprinted to the fans, which I understand the emotion of the game, and it's what football is all about. It's what we've all missed. It was nice for Jed. He certainly showed his situation at the moment about his contract certainly won't affect him. He wants to play well for the club and play well with the fans. He'll relish those moments. He's a big game player. But if you look, we lost a bit of energy in the last 10 minutes. Is he blaming that on the celebration? Is he having a laugh? Maybe we'll reserve some of those celebrations for the right time later in the game. Is he on a wind? He must be on a wind up, man. He must be on a wind up. If running the length of the pitch is gonna gas out the players for the end of the game, and he's like, what are you talking about? What is he talking about? Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Just running the length of the pitch once will fuck you up for take off 10 minutes worth of running in your game. And he probably knows the players aren't fit anyway. They're as fit as he's moaning about how fit they are because they organised an extra friendly against Bromley like 2 days before the season starts. Was it on Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday it was. So why did you organise that friendly? Because you're not happy with how fit the players are. So what are you blaming the fucking goal celebration for? Rowett was asked about Wallace's future. There is no change, he said. I've spoken about it before. It's exactly the same situation, and any comment I make will be flipped into a number of stories. We are where we are. It was a great goal and he performed really well, particularly in the first half. It was a good partnership with Bennick. If we can get them a little more service, then I think these two can certainly be a real handful. And this will be going on and on and on and on until the 31st of August at, I think it's 11 PM on the 31st of August. That's when the transfer window shuts. So until then, it's gonna be a constant thing about Jed Wallace in his contract and maybe him leaving before in this transfer window, which will absolutely devastate our chances of getting into the playoffs. It really would. So there you go. So moving on now, that was today's game. There was a game the other day, yesterday. I didn't bring you it yesterday because I forgot. Sorry about that. But there was a game, under 23s versus Royston Town, Cambridgeshire. And this is a team. So Gilmore, Walker, Penny, Trialist Day, Tobolodge, Tienzia, Allen, Moss, Davis, O'Brien, and the new lad Drozd. Trialist B, Trialist C. So we're only getting down to Trialist C now. That's not too bad, not too bad. Whittling them down. So we kick off, and there's a goal after in the 23rd minute. Sean O'Brien. Then Royston score in the 40th minute. That's nothing to do with that game. And then they changed the goalkeeper at half time. And then they took off Trialist A for Trialist B. And then Sean O'Brien scores again in the 59th minute. And then they take off Walker for Trialist C. And it finishes 2-1 to Millwall under 23. So another win for them, a decent win. They've only lost once this pre-season, and not bad, but that's not the strongest team they can put out. There's no Nana Boateng there, there's no Sanford there. Well, I think Sanford's kind of in the first team's picture now. He's like the third choice keeper. I think he's got to be on call in case if there's any kind of injury to Long or Biakowski, then he's got to be available and ready, that he can just pick up his gloves and get to the game. So he might even be travelling with the squads for the match days. I don't know about that. It might be a possibility. Probably, just in case, if Bierkowski's warming up and he gets injured, Sanford needs to be there. He can't be 100 miles away doing something else. He's got to be ready to be involved with the club. No Nana Boateng. And so that wasn't even a full strength under 23s, but they won 2-1. Their season starts in 2 weeks' time, I believe. I think the first game is against Crewe at home. No word yet whether the fans will be allowed in for that, but we are apparently back to normal now, and normally we would be going to those games. So normally, let's get the fans in, especially since it's kids' summer holiday, and that will be a very cheap day out if you got kids. I'm sure it'll be like, I think, like £1 or £2 for kids, £5 adults, something like that. That's what it was before. But who knows? So there you go. The under 23s won 2-1 away at Royston Town on Friday. And that is it for today's Daily Millwall. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.